Kia ora koutou, ko Angela Caves tōku ingoa, no mai haere mai. Welcome to the Waikato Business Growth and Support Virtual Conference. My name's Angela Caves and I'm the Digital Events Manager with Digital Boost. It's my pleasure to be hosting you this afternoon and over the next couple of days. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to join us. It's wonderful to have you all here. A warm welcome to our audience who are joining us here in the webinar and to those who are viewing via a live stream on either Facebook, LinkedIn or YouTube. We've got a full 3 days of sessions. The sessions are being recorded and will be available for post-event viewing, and we will be providing a link to that for all registered attendees. This session is session 3 of the conference, and we're joined by Business.govt.nz. Before I introduce our presenter, I just want to let you know how the webinar will work. You can see and hear us, but we cannot see nor hear you. So if you would like to interact with us, and we do welcome it, please pop your questions into the Q&A function or into the chat function, and my collaborating partner Craig from Connected will be keeping an eye on that, and we'll present those questions. Thanks, Craig. We'll present those questions to our presenter, who is my pleasure to actually welcome right now, Mason Rutini, who is a product advisor with Business New Zealand. And Mason's going to share all about Business.gov and its website and the free tools and resources available to support you that are on their platform. So welcome along, Mason.
Kia ora koutou, ko Mason Rutini tōku ingoa, ko Takitimu te waka, ko Rangitū mo te maunga, ko Rua Mahanga te awa, ko Ngāti Kahanunu me Ngāti Parau ngā iwi, ko Ngāti Moe me Ngāti Ida ngā hapu, ko Papawai te marae, ko Tairāwhiti me Wairarapa oku tūpuna. Hello everybody, my name is Mason Rutini and I'm coming to you today from Business.gov. We're the government's website for small businesses. So we bring information and advice from across government and the private sector into one place to help small businesses achieve and set out what they've come to do. So snapshotting and packaging it all into tools and into resources that make sense for small businesses. So small businesses at the heart of what everything we do and making sure we're serving everyone in that community. Business.gov translates this information into plain English. So we try to present all our information as simple as possible and try to avoid jargon as much as we can. Obviously, you can't all the time in the business space, but yeah, that's our aim. We're not just about starting a business also, we're also about growing and getting the best out of your business as it evolves. So all our work is run essentially through 3 avenues, as you can see here: content, newsletter, and tools. Through digital tools, these are built to essentially solve key pain points within the small business community and form solutions through digital tools. And I'll take you through a few of those a bit later in the session. So secondly, our written content is consistently added to the site to help businesses succeed. And this is anything from how to manage your mental health as a business owner, how to bring on a new employee, how to grow your business. There's many different content layers and categories that you can get into to further just upskill yourself within the business community. And lastly, our newsletter. So we have a newsletter, and this is the number of recipients has actually gone up from 850,000. Currently, we're sitting at about 920,000. And this newsletter is usually sent around twice a month. So if you want to sign up for this, you can easily, and this will just arrive in your email inbox once or twice a month. And it's all targeted articles. We work with the private sector to essentially build articles that help small businesses succeed. So whatever's happening in the business community, it could be tax time and how to get through that, or how to manage your finances in general, or how to better support your employees and stuff like that. So that's the 3 main tiers of how we run our website and support small businesses. So next slide, please. Now I'll take you through a few examples of our digital tools and kind of the problem that they are solutions to. So our employment agreement builder, it can be a lengthy process onboarding a new employee. Sometimes this can be a deterrent, and even when a business owner needs it. This is the reason behind us building the employment agreement builder. So instead of having to go to a lawyer and overpay them to write you a contract, we all know this can cost a few $1,000s, and we're trying to cut that out completely, because end of the day, if you're a growing business and you need to bring on another person, the cost of that shouldn't be a barrier. So we're trying to essentially destroy that barrier. So essentially over 268,000 employment agreements have been created, on this tool since its launch in 2016. So we're going pretty well. And on average, each agreement template has been used for 5 employees at least. So these are airtight contracts that you can use. And yeah, I'd really recommend checking this out, especially if you're looking at bringing on a new employee. Save yourself a couple thousand. I'd recommend it. Next tool, please. So the next tool I'm going to talk about is OneCheck. Choosing a name for your business is obviously a huge decision, especially if you plan a brand around this name. So before you make any decisions, it pays to make a few quick checks. And this is to see if any other businesses are using either that domain name or a similar name, and see kind of what's free in terms of domain name, in terms of social media handle, and anything else that might be on the internet that you want to claim as your brand. And this might actually inform maybe your name, and you might say, hey, I've made a business, but it's not showing up in a Google search because it's a very common word. So like things like that are all things to consider when you're actually making your business name, and OneCheck is perfect for that. So I would recommend that as well. Next slide, please. So the next tool I was going to talk about is Compliance Matters. So as we all know, compliance is a huge part of many businesses. Every business has compliance that they have to abide by legally. So it helps to actually take the confusion out of that and have all your industry's compliance in one place. And this is what Compliance Matters does. So from this, the Compliance Matters tool was born from this issue. For this tool, we partnered with over 10 different government agencies who do have compliance, and to make sure that we covered all our bases and essentially become a central hub for compliance information according to your industry. So yeah, you could, whatever business you have, you can go on this tool and just see what your minimum compliance is and how you can kind of get that done within your business. Makes it a lot easier. Next slide, please. So the next tool I'm going to talk about is Choose Business Structure. So this tool is somewhat self-explanatory. This tool helps you choose your business structure during your initial business planning. This can be used when you've already got your business as well, because you might be a year into your business and actually decide, hey, maybe the structure isn't the most effective for what I'm trying to do with this business, and future-proofing it, you might want to actually change the structure of that. A few examples of these are a company, a sole trader, or a partnership. These are probably the most common 3 business structures, and what your business should be between these 3. And there's many more, obviously, but those are the core 3 that you should be looking at, especially for a small business. Choosing the right business structure is obviously very important, and it definitely is something to consider, especially if you're wanting to grow your business, because a difference between a sole trader and a company can be quite different in terms of liabilities, in terms of compliance, and things like that. So at the end of this tool, you'll have the necessary information needed to kind of make this informed decision. And yeah, and you'll just have the information to kind of be like, look inwards at your business and say, how does the structure affect my business, and what should I be choosing in terms of my future plans for this business? Next slide, please. So COVID-19 is another huge, it was a huge part of our website. Well, it's not a huge part, but we became a #1 communicator for COVID-19 information for businesses. So we know it can be hard work whether you're working out whether you're eligible for support. So we worked with colleagues across government to create tools to make it easier for you. So if you go on the COVID-19 section on our website, you can go and see what is still available in terms of support. I do realize that we're kind of, well, hopefully becoming at the more end stages of COVID, but this is still relevant, especially for businesses, and just seeing what sort of compliance you have under the COVID-19 rules and stuff like that. Throughout the period of COVID-19, we actually had over 6 million page views on our COVID content, making it the largest channel for business-related COVID-19 information. So whenever there was a change within government in terms of the traffic light system or the CPF, or whether you have to wear masks indoors and things like that, that every single situation like that was posted through our newsletter or on our website in the COVID-19 area. So yeah, if you still need information about that, I'd recommend going there. So another big channel, as I mentioned at the start, is our newsletter. So this is saying 840,000. This is a bit more like 920,000 now. And these are all small business recipients that that have subscribed to this newsletter, receive it either once or twice a month. And these can be varying topics. We work with the private sector, we work with government partners and iwi partners, anyone who has expertise within the small business space. And yeah, and we make selections month by month of what small businesses would like to see and what they would like written about and things like that. And it's essentially the newsletter is full of things that we're just trying to help small businesses. So we look at the small business environment and we say, what exactly do small businesses want to learn about, and how can we actually help them, you know? And this informs our newsletter and what we choose to write about. So a few recent sort of examples of this is like money and your mental health. So I know that obviously money and mental health have align in somewhat, and especially when you're a small business owner, because you're taking a lot of the stress on yourself. So things like that can really help you understand and actually see from a different perspective and understand that there are other people out there going through the same thing, and that you can come together and actually work through things together. So lastly, I'd just like to talk about a few different work streams that we're going on right now outside of the tools. So obviously there's a huge, our written content is a huge part of our website. And Angela, I don't know if you still wanted to, but we could take people through a few areas of the website now, just to kind of give you an example, and so you can get started on your journey within biz.gov.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Let me bring that up, Mason, and we'll have a wee look at that. Let me just pop that on the screen. 1 second. All right, here we go. Let me know when this is showing for you, Mason.
Yep, that's showing. So if you just go to the menu.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'll just discuss each one of these subsections. So home, obviously, that's just the home page that if you search business.gov, that's where you'll go, and that's where you want to start. So if you go to getting started, it depends on what level of or what area of business that you're in. So getting started would probably be you're right at the start of starting your business and you want to learn more about choosing your business structure, planning, building a brand, and funding your business, things like that are really at the start of the business process. The next subsection would be how to grow. So that's you've already got a business set up essentially, and you want to grow it into either a bigger business or diversify into something else. This is where you would go to get the information, and we've worked with subject matter experts across many fields to put this information together over the space of about 8 years. And one thing with our written content is, as things change, which they do in the business space, we're constantly updating these, working with these subject matter experts. So that's not a concern whether or not this information is outdated, because we consistently are updating this information, especially when it's important. Tax and accounting, that's pretty self-explanatory. That'll take you through everything you need to know for doing your small business tax and accounting, and how to actually save time and money in that space. I really like that section, especially for a budding business owner. Obviously, we all don't have a degree in accounting, so it just makes it a bit easier, and it's all presented in a very simple, easy to follow way. Hiring and managing people, that's also self-explanatory. Just when you're looking at bringing on someone into your business, definitely go to this section, and it should break down pretty much the whole process of what you need to do there and what you need to bring to the table and how to do that effectively. Do business online. So this is a great section. A few things have been added. As you can see down the bottom there, there's a digital boost section. We're huge fans of digital boost at Biz.gov, and do business online is a kind of an extension of that, right? So anything to do with building a website, building up your social media, advertising to online customers, you'll find that within there. And that's also, like the other sections, has been worked on with subject matter experts in the digital space to present that in a simple, easy to follow way. So our aim is that someone who's not very tech savvy could go into this and actually get some value out of it, and maybe even implement some of those into their business. So doing business for good, that's also kind of self-explanatory, but it's more so a social enterprise. So if you're looking at your business from not so much a profit-driven, but more a social aspect, this is where you'd go for that sort of information and the logistics that come along with running a business in that fashion. That's very valuable information there as well. So risks and operations, that's just anything to do with risks and operations essentially within the small business space. That can be to do with equipment, manufacturing. Say there's a risk with manufacturing over in another country because you can't see the product with your own eyes, things like that. It's all within there. We've worked with multiple government agencies to put that together. So all of this stuff is easily accessible, and if you start at getting started, I'd recommend that and just make your way down, or just pick anything that really interests you. Lastly, I'll just get you to go on business performance. So this is a bit more of a high level area of the site. So this would be more targeted at people that already have started their business but want to kind of improve the performance of their business, whether that's through business strategy, marketing, management and leadership, governance, all different ways that you can actually implement into your business to make it a well-oiled machine. Essentially, I would go to business performance, and especially if you want to grow or you're thinking about going overseas, that's a huge thing to consider. And lastly, I'll just mention wellbeing support, because this is a relatively new section on our site, but this is something that we want to put more resource and emphasis on going forward, especially because we know that small businesses really can take on a lot of stress, especially if it's you're a sole operator. You know, you can deal with things like isolation, like burnout. So we're trying to mitigate that by working with people like the Mental Health Foundation, multiple other advocates for mental health, just to get these subject matter experts to really attack this from a small business perspective, and how we can look at mental health but from a business perspective, and how you can do everyday things to kind of change your whole mindset on mental health and actually improve your well-being, so you can do fun things and not be stressed out all the time. So that's the aim of that section there. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today, but happy to take any questions. And yeah, thank you so much for listening.
Yeah, there was a few questions there, Mason. Thanks for that. That was really interesting. Just a few have come through. How up to date is the Business.govt site? Can I trust that it is going to give me the most up to date information when it comes to legislation?
Yes. So obviously, because we are a government run website, we are constantly in comms with other government agencies to work out what's the new policy, how how does this affect small businesses, and then we work on updating that pretty much as soon as we can. So yeah, you can rely on our information there, specifically around policy is very much updated.
Cool. Another question, if I wanted to speak to someone about information on the site, do you have a team that I can speak to or meet with?
Unfortunately not. So we do, on our website there is a number you can call, and that's a helpline. That's not a member of Business.gov directly talking to you, but they will help you through things on the site and stuff like that. But the one thing I recommend is just going, if you want to learn more about Business.gov, just go on the website and yeah, make your way through that content if it makes sense to you, and if it is going to bring value to you, of course.
Okay, thank you. Well, I think that's all the questions we have for now. So over to you, Angela.
Thanks very much, Craig, and thank you, Mason. Yeah, I think you're right. You know, even though there isn't somebody to speak to, the website is extremely comprehensive and seems to be easy to follow. You know, put together in a real succinct way, so that somebody like me, who would be thinking about starting a business but has zero business acumen, could actually jump on, have a look, and start kind of building my business that way. So, thank you very much, Mason, for presenting to us today. It's been really, really helpful. Just to let our audience know that our collaborating partners, Craig from Connected, if you attend this conference and then you forget anything and everything, and in a few months later you might need a one-stop shop to head back to kind of make these connections to places like business.gov or employment.gov or any of the other organisations joining us today, please head over to Connected, have a wee chat with Craig, and he will be able to point you in the right direction. And so Craig's contact details are on the screen there. We love that Business.gov and Digital Boost are out here advocating for each other. As a reminder, Digital Boost is a free digital skills training platform available to small businesses, the owners, their employees, or anyone who wants to boost or accelerate their digital transformation. Please head over and sign up. You can also use our new tool in there, Checkable, that provides a digital assessment of how your small business is performing digitally. And we have a competition that has just launched today. You can win a $25,000 prize. It is made up of about $15,000 to spend on digital marketing, brand new office equipment, software packages, business mentoring. It's a huge prize available up for grabs. So what I might do is I'll tuck the link into the chat for everyone to head over to and sign up. So if you're already a Digital Boost user, please just log into the platform, watch 2 videos between now and the 9th of October, and you will be automatically in the draw. If you aren't currently a Digital Boost user, all you need to do is sign up, jump in, watch 2 videos, and you'll be in the draw to win this prize. That does bring our session to a close. So once again, I'd just like to thank Mason for joining us on behalf of Business.gov and sharing that wealth of information with us. It's been a pleasure to have you this afternoon, Mason. For our audience, please know that if you want to come back and watch this, we will be sending out a link. So this is available for all registered attendees. It will be sent out to you within about 24 hours. And there'll be a link to the playlist of all the other sessions on there. Once again, thank you for joining us here in the webinar, or if you've been viewing via our live stream, it's been a pleasure to host you. Up next, we do have New Zealand Trade and Enterprise joining us at 3:15. If you would like to have a chat to them around the export market, please join us this afternoon, and then head over to Connected's website if you would like to join any of the sessions that we've got running tomorrow afternoon or on Thursday afternoon. We'd love to see you there. Other than that, I do hope you all have a wonderful afternoon, and thanks so much.
Kia ora.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.